Message. Hey, if you been selling drugs in MacArthur Park, bro, your ass is finna get handed out a life sentence, nigga. Amount of drugs that they found, bro, and if you was one of the sellers that was selling that was at MacArthur Park, your ass finna get a life sentence, my boy. I don't give a fuck. And I hate when a nigga say that, my boy, shit. I really hate that. I'ma not say that again. I'm sorry. But anyway, hey, them niggas handing out life sentences, bro. Niggas ass gone, my nigga. Cause the amount of niggas, millions, man, how much? $10 million worth of fentanyl, bruh. Whoever was the seller, my nigga, your motherfucking ass is through, boy. When they find you, boy, and they will find you, they gon' find you. They gonna find you, bro. Your ass finna get a life sentence. And if you ain't telling on nobody, you finna do life by yourself, nigga. This is a rap, nigga. Whoever was in charge of this shit, somebody finna tell on your ass, bro. Like, all the people that been seeing you hustling and trapping and coming back and forth through that bitch, dropping bags out, doing this, hanging around they neck, your ass is through, boy. Your ass through, nigga. They coming to get your ass, my nigga. So get motherfucking me ready. You better change your identity, your whole style of life. You might well turn into a female if you're a nigga. And if you're a nigga if you're a female, turn into a nigga, because your ass is out, boy. Your ass is finna get got, my nigga. Your life is over, dog. There's nowhere around this amount of fentanyl, bro. Your ass, you finna do life plus life. Plus life. And you probably already got
the people selling the drugs on these streets.
Hey, nigga, boy. They finna wrap the nigga ass up like a mummy, boy, for real. I promise you. They finna wrap the nigga ass up.
MacArthur people use drugs open and notoriously with little to no criminal consequences is a failed experiment. It does not work. It does not work to simply hand out needles and Narcan. You have to go after the people selling the drugs on these streets because you can see the consequences. MacArthur Park should be for families, should be for residents of Los Angeles, not for drug dealers and gangsters. So we're here to liberate it, and we're working hand in hand with LAPD. LAPD is a proud partner of this operation. We're proud to work with them. They want to liberate this too for their residents. And the federal government's coming in today to give them the tools to clean up these neighborhoods, because they're not looking at a few hours in custody anymore. The people we're arresting are looking at 10 years to life in federal prison, depending on the amount of drugs they were trafficking. And last thing I'll say before I invite the DEA to say a few words, this is not a one-and-done operation. We are here, and we are not leaving. We have 300 law enforcement personnel on this operation, and they're not going anywhere. And we've got bigger guns than the gangsters, so we're not going anywhere. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Tony Chrysanthus with the DEA Los Angeles office.
Going Planet Fitness for $1 down, $50.
You heard the fuck that man say, bro? That nigga say we ain't going nowhere, and we got bigger guns than the gangsters. And if you think you're fucking with what that motherfuckers got, bro, man, your ass better bring out some motherfucking rocket launchers or something. Them niggas got, nigga, I'm telling you, you do not want to see what a motherfucking 50 cal or anything, none of that come through your neighborhood, boy, it's a wrap, bro. I'm talking about that shit gonna shoot through brick, metal, all types of shit. And them niggas got the biggest, nigga. Yeah.
I want to thank all our federal partners who are providing key assistance on this ongoing efforts here today.
This ain't like they going against the world, they going against.
I want to thank all our partners. The U.S. Attorney's Office of Central District of California. A special thank you to LAPD Chief McDonald for his partnership and his department's vital support to today's operation. On behalf of DEA Los Angeles, I want to thank all our federal partners who are providing key assistance on this ongoing efforts here today. Thank you to Dr. Oz for joining us today. Thank you for DEA leadership for coming out here today. Chief of Operations Matthew Allian and DEA Associate Chief of Operations Brian Clark. Thank you, members of the media, for coming out to help us share a message today. And that message is that the Drug Enforcement Administration is in lockstep with our partners, bound and ever committed to restoring safety and the well-being to MacArthur Park, its residents, business operators, and neighbors. MacArthur Park has been the backdrop to open-air drug markets, violent crimes, and theft, which has prompted local businesses to close or be threatened to close. Further, this area faces high rates of fatal overdoses, crime, and tent encampment, which in some cases have exploited the concealed illicit activity. For today's operation, dubbed Free MacArthur Park, DEA assigned over 200 personnel to include our special response teams from various cities in our region. The Los Angeles Police Department assisted with 100 officers, approximately 100 officers. I want to thank the federal partners here, the United States Marshal Service, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Southern California Drug Task Force, and the Homeland Security Task Force. This has been a whole government approach to solving a problem that has been going on here for way too long. This investigation has focused into the trafficking of controlled substances in and around MacArthur Park for the purpose of identifying distributors, gathering evidence, and charging the distributors and source of supply of drugs. Today's operation included multiple search warrants, 6 served at businesses selling narcotics here in the Alvarado corridor, located within MacArthur Park. In addition, 3 search warrants were served at locations around Southern California earlier today. Today's operation is only one step, taken by a handful of agencies working hard to alleviate anguish and the sense of hopelessness plaguing MacArthur Park. While this is a drug enforcement operation, make no mistake, it's an effort to return safety, wellness, and hope to the community that lives here. For far too long, this neighborhood has been saturated in despair due to chronic drug use. Fentanyl and methamphetamine are rampant. The sense of gloom is compounded by criminal activity tied to drug trafficking, gang activity, and other forms of violence. That has become a public safety crisis. Drug peddlers have been exploiting the vulnerable, lining their pockets with no regards to the harm that they are causing those struggling with drug misuse, nor to the overlapping harm they impose to this community. Businesses are impacted negatively because of what happens here. MacArthur Park has become a breeding ground for drug crimes. We're not just referring to street-level drug peddlers. The gang networks also run rampant here, and the exploitation deepens. During the course of this investigation, investigators have targeted the Sinaloa cartel as the suppliers for fentanyl and methamphetamine into the MacArthur Park area. And I just want to pause for a second because I want to highlight that this is a criminal organization, operating in our country, and we are not going to stand for it anymore today. So they have been put on notice. MacArthur Park belongs to the people of Los Angeles again. Earlier today, we took 19 kilos of fentanyl out of a house associated to supplying narcotics here to MacArthur Park. That is enough poison to kill 190,000 Americans that reside here. Profit of over $10 million when sold. This is not a small organization. This is a major operation that's been going on here for too long, and it ends today. I want to thank all the men and women of DEA, all our partners for the countless hours and hard work poured in this operation. This operation is being done to return MacArthur Park back to the community. Thank you, and I'd like to turn it over to LAPD Chief Jim McDonald.
A parent.
Boy, you don't think you bitch ass nigga finna go do a life sentence, but your ass tripping. Next thing you know, we finna hear about these niggas getting picked up, bro. Because that what they didn't tell y'all, that the boots already on the ground, bro. They already door to door with the shit. Bro, they door to door with the shit, bro. And some of them little druggies that they been selling to ain't even been drug addicts, bro. They been the ones that you been seeing sitting up on them steps and shit that be sitting up. They just been sitting there, bro. They been getting all types of information and documentation, bro. These niggas been recording these niggas, bro. It's a rap, my nigga. They had been planning people down there to get, you know what I'm saying, footage and locations where niggas coming from with the shit, playing like they own dope and getting information from other dope addicts and shit. But they already boots on the ground with that shit. These niggas finna do some life sentences, bro. That's enough fentanyl to kill the whole country, nigga. These niggas ass out of there, bro.
Apparently, some people didn't get that message. This between the U.S. Well, thank you very much, and good afternoon, and thank you all for joining us here today. As you heard from U.S. Attorney Asali and DEA Special Agent in Charge Anthony Chrysanthus, today's operation was a success by any measure. But today's mission is more than just a reminder of the strong partnership between the U.S. Attorney, DEA, and the LAPD. It's an affirmation that we will use all available resources that we have to keep our city safe. This past March, I stood before you with U.S. Attorney Asali as we detailed the partnership that dismantled the leadership of the 18th Street criminal street gang controlling drug trafficking in and around this park. At that time, I promised our community members and warned the criminals that the LAPD would not stand idle if they dared to reorganize and continue their deadly trade. As today's operation illustrated, apparently some people didn't get that message. It's just a matter of weeks the DEA investigators observed a resurgence of the drug trade in and around MacArthur Park. By joining forces with LAPD's Gang and Narcotics Division and Rampart Division personnel, together we quickly developed a new strategy to identify street-level dealers and the complex suppliers providing them the narcotics. Through our collaborative work, investigators successfully identified 3 individuals responsible for multi-kilogram quantities of fentanyl and multi-pound quantities of methamphetamine for distribution in MacArthur Park. I want you to understand the urgency of our efforts, what's driving us. Fentanyl is 50 times stronger than heroin and 100 times more powerful than morphine. As you heard earlier from the special agent in charge, that's a fatal dose for about 190,000 people. It is something that has been going on here, as he mentioned, too long. And the complexity of this, it's not street drug dealers doing this on their own. They're supported by and answering to criminal street gangs in the area, prison gangs, and cartels. And they're doing this right here in our backyard. We've had enough of this, and as you see today, and as you heard earlier, this is going to continue. And as long as we need to be here doing this, you're going to see this kind of activity here. I'm going to do everything in my power as your chief to keep those drugs and every other illicit narcotic we can off the streets of Los Angeles. Additionally, during the course of the investigation, investigators identified 22 more individuals involved in narcotics trafficking activities in and around MacArthur Park and the region. Investigators also identified 3 residences and 6 commercial locations involved in drug trafficking operation, as well as identified those persons responsible for the distribution of those narcotics here in MacArthur Park. The goal of this operation was to eliminate from the park dangerous and deadly drug activity and return this beautiful park to where it belongs and to who it belongs, the people and families of Los Angeles. Thank you, and as always, to all of you, our media partners, for showing up today. Without you, the hard work of our men and women would go unnoticed. And finally, to those who want to continue selling drugs in this area of the city, who prey upon our community members, exploit their addictions, and endanger our young people, I want to make you this promise. The men and women of the Los Angeles Police Department will continue to stand watch over this great city. We will be relentless, and along with our state and federal partners in pursuit of anyone who chooses to harm our community. Thank you.
All right, I want to introduce a special guest we have here, Dr. Oz, who is the head of CMS and who's been instrumental in our fight against fraud. And he needs no introduction. Dr. Oz, thank you.
Man.
Thank Bill Stanley, U.S. Attorney in Los Angeles.
Ass is
you have set a
done,
standard
boy.
for the country. I appreciate the...
Niggas always gotta wear around shit, but is it worth the risk though? Nigga, whatever little money that you got out of this shit, bro, I'm sure y'all done made a couple of 100,000, whatever to go on to get on. But you playing, you ain't even playing with fire. You in the fire. Nigga, anything around that area is swept, nigga. They finna sweep that bitch. I'm talking about, bitch, if you even look like you thought you had some fentanyl, your ass is going, nigga. And guess what? They gonna pick up all your little dope fiends and force their ass to tell. Nigga, and what you think gonna happen? Down there, 70% or 80% of them motherfuckers gonna tell on y'all bitch ass. You know why? Because they might offer them some little help when they feeling sick and they can't get to y'all because the police got them locked up. They gonna need some help, and guess what? They gonna use that to force them niggas to tell on y'all ass, bruh. So anybody that ain't caught,
the
them
seriousness
niggas' ass
that you
gonna
are
get
taking
caught.
on this task, it is massive. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Dr. Appreciate it.
Chief McConnell, I appreciate your coming and bringing 100 LAPD strong here. Tony, for bringing 200 DEA agents. I left Washington this morning before dawn to come to Los Angeles. I'm not from Los Angeles. I came here because we've got a real problem in Los Angeles. MacArthur Park, which is on the surface a very beautiful area, is becoming a cemetery. This city block behind us is owned by a foreign cartel, effectively, because they're doing business here without regard for U.S. legal interdictions. And when you start looking at this problem, you begin to realize why the president created a White House task force focused on fraud, waste, and abuse. You begin to realize why he put the vice president in charge of this situation, and you begin to realize why it's an all-of-government approach, which is what we're witnessing today. Now, let me speak very plainly as a doctor to the issues that we're facing. I use morphine as a doctor. I'm a heart surgeon. Morphine is actually a drug we use sometimes to put people to sleep in heart surgery because it's actually more gentle for the heart. And it's fast. It knocks you out like that. In fact, fentanyl is used in the operating room sometimes because before you know it, you can't breathe anymore. But thankfully, we're there to put a breathing tube down. The thought of 190,000 doses of lethal fentanyl chills me. It should scare you as well. That is a devastating dose. Forget about the $10 million street value. The thought of losing that many Americans to the Sinaloa cartel and others who just don't care about us should want you to declare war on this problem, which is exactly what happened today with these brave officers at the federal level, at the city level, state level, at the local level. It makes a difference, and it sends a shot across the bow. Now, I work for Secretary Kennedy, and Secretary Kennedy is very open about the fact that when his father was murdered in this city in 1968, he fell into a deep despair, and it took him into the spiraling downward, lack of control world of being a drug addict. And he lived there for 14 years. He's a stronger man today because he weathered that. But he's not the only one of the administration who's looked at drugs straight in the face and faced the damaging consequences. Obviously, the vice president has told that story to others as well, not affecting themselves, people in their family that they love and care for. This morning, before we got here, there was a silence in the Jeep that we drove over, the Bearcat, because we learned that we were delayed for a few minutes because somebody had died here in a back alley. After we arrived, after many of you in the media arrived, there was an overdose just down the street with an eyesight that was thankfully reversed. But I was in Kensington recently and witnessed someone go down, and when they were given a life-saving dose of fentanyl, they were angry that they had been brought back to life. This, my friends, was a rescue mission. As a doctor, I can say that with great confidence. We saved lives out here today. We've also sent a very clear message to Sacramento that you cannot play with this anymore because you're playing with fire. And you're not doing so well. And so the kinds of things that I believe we can address by going into the visible addiction that was faced on the street and the worsening conditions for policies that just have not worked. Reduction of harm is a failed approach in MacArthur Park. Maybe somewhere else it may work, but here it doesn't. Interdiction, however, does work. And when we're serious about it, and enforcement like this is a starting point, prevention is required, and we are here, and I'll speak for the federal government here. Medicaid will embrace these people. We care about these people. The beautiful program that you all pay tax dollars into will save these addicts. But you can't have pushers across the street who are sitting upshot in bodegas where they're allowed to distribute these drugs, and not far away, the big distributors and the Sinaloa cartel across the border are able to destroy the recovery pathway that otherwise would exist. This is a cost to the system as well. Medicaid is the single largest payer for substance use disorders. We are here. We'll put that money in. But the cost to society of allowing these addictive behaviors to continue is $100 billion a year of lost productivity. I'm going to say that again so it sinks in. $100 billion a year of lost productivity. We believe the breakdown is evident. We know what we think will work. You saw evidence of it today. And my hope is that we will take care of people, as Hubert Humphrey declared. Those living at the dawn of life, those are our children. We cover most of those children now through Medicaid and CHIP. Those living at the twilight of life are seniors. Medicare does that. But today was about those living in the shadows. And that haunting metaphor should affect you. It affects me because I know we can do better for those folks. Now, we have built a nationwide effort to try to address some of the fraud we're seeing. This is a good example. When you don't take care of people that we should be caring for, and we're a great nation, we'll do that naturally. That's revealing of fraudulent activities. But I want to ask Kim Brandt to come. She runs the Program Integrity Unit at CMS. She's Chief Operating Officer, and we have been looking very careful at the entire soup to nuts endeavor in California, in particular in Los Angeles, ranging from hospices to personal care services. And I'd like her to give you a short, succinct update of where we are. Kim.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Oz. One of the biggest things that we've done most recently is something that's been across all 50 states. Red, blue, purple, all the states. We asked all the governors to take a look at their Medicaid providers, those who are providing Medicaid services, and determine if there are high-risk providers and suppliers in their state, and to do something called revalidation, meaning they need to make sure they're legitimate. The reason that we are doing this is because in Minnesota, as you may have heard, there's a little bit of a fraud problem. And there alone, they have 5,500 Medicaid providers across the 13 high-risk areas that they have self-identified. 10% of the providers in those areas have already been disenrolled, and it's likely that this number will continue to increase. If we took that against all 50 states, that means that there could be as many as 50,000 plus illegitimate providers operating in this country. Also, we are looking at Medicaid funding, making sure that people are paying appropriately for Medicaid services. We have deferred $350 million as of this week from Medicaid funding to Minnesota, and we are currently reviewing California's personal care services funding, and we are going to be making a deferral decision by next week on that. As you may have heard, the hospice problem here in Los Angeles County is epic. There is simply nothing like it anywhere in the country. There are nearly 1,500 hospices here in the Los Angeles area. We think up to half of them could be fraudulent. Thus far, we have suspended, meaning that we have stopped payments to several hundred providers in here in the LA area, and they totaled over $600 million in Medicaid spending, which is something in Medicare and Medicaid spending, I should say, just in 2025. If we can stop that, that's more money back to the trust fund, and that's more money to provide care for the people who really need it. We want to really talk about the fact that we so appreciate the partnership with the DEA, the Department of Justice, the HHS Office of Inspector General, and the FBI, and of course the Vice President's Task Force, who has helped us to really take these aggressive actions. So this administration stands very strong with law enforcement, and we remain committed to winning this fight against fraud and restoring communities and protecting American lives. Thank you.
Hey, this right here, this is about to change a whole lot of things in Los Angeles, bro. Whole lot. A whole lot, my nigga. Cartel was running rapid in that bitch. With them getting blitzed on like this and knowing how many motherfuckers be snitching nowadays because they don't want to do it, boy, bro, crime about to go down, nigga, in Los Angeles just because of this right here. Don't bump head with the military, bro. These motherfuckers got military soldiers and everything, bro. It's a wrap, bro. If they want to find information about tracking a motherfucker down, this is what they specialize in, bro. It's over, bro. Yeah, go on and hang that shit up, my nigga. That fentanyl selling shit, all that extra shit. It was go back to selling weed and crack, nigga. For real.
As we move forward.
Each crack ain't never killed a nigga. Shit, you see a nigga about 100 years on crack. That nigga live
we can get you more details,
old.
But it was one of the suppliers we identified as part of this operation. Look, this was a 2 months long operation. We did a lot of surveillance, and so we traced the drugs back to who was supplying it here in MacArthur Park. One of the suppliers was this individual, and we searched that residence this morning, and we recovered 19 kilograms of fentanyl from their home. And we also searched 2 other residences. I think we found drugs there too, right?
Yeah, I don't have the total.
Well, I don't have the totals, but there was a lot of drugs recovered this morning.
Cleaning it up.
We'll get you those details. I don't have the address on me. Any other questions, media? Yes, sir. Yeah, well, the streets will open back up, and we'll see who shows up. But we're not leaving. We're going to keep our eyes on here. And if the drug selling comes back, we'll be back, and we'll come back as many times as we need to. This is not a one and done. This is a continuous, long operation. We are going to make sure that the days of open air drug use and dealing in MacArthur Park are over. So if you want to spend 10 years in federal prison, come sell drugs here. If not, go away. Yes.
They saying 10 to life, nigga. Now, if you caught with, man,
well,
just
first I apologize to the
as
business owners because this is long overdue.
That's
it is hard enough to do business in the state of California. It's even harder to do it when you've got open air drug use right in front of your business. I mean, God bless, you got a deli down the street, and he's refused to shut down. He's not shutting down. And I was here with the undercover teams a few weeks ago, and there was a line out the door. So those are American businesses. They don't want to give up on this city. We're not giving up on this city. I know the president doesn't want to give up on this city, and we will work with anyone that is willing to work with us, whether it's Mayor Bass or LAPD. We welcome their partnership. And it's not about us. It's not about any politician. It's about giving this park back to the people of this city so they can enjoy it freely with their family. And we need to paint over these 18th Street logos. They don't own this anymore. So, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, the 18th Street logo. Yeah, boy, hey.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah.
I'm always
That's a great question,
Dr.
Do you want to address what's available for people who are addicted?
You don't have to be on drugs.
No
this is a fundamental disagreement that I think we have in America. Giving people who are addicted what they need doesn't free them. They are bound, as though you tie their hands with ropes, and then you're spanking them. When you do drugs, you don't feel good. You feel relief. We have slews of treatment options that are out there. Medications that work for weeks, some work for days, but you have to push people into therapy. The cities that have been successful in addiction and stopping these kinds of open-air drug markets have succeeded because they continue to pull folks in. They say you have a choice. You go to jail, you go to rehab. They say rehab. They stay for 3 days, they leave. That's the norm. They fail. Most people will fail a half a dozen times. That's true for cigarettes. It's true for narcotics. When you fail, you go back on the street, you make a mistake, you go back into this program. After 6 times, it's not worth it anymore. So you either stop doing drugs or you leave town. When you leave town, you go somewhere else. Maybe it's a place that might be better than you, but we are farming homelessness here. Imagine you're a farmer, you plant the seeds, you grow them, you water them. That's what you're seeing out here. We're making it easy to do drugs. There are many federal programs. They're run actually through states and Medicaid programs. States like California have fairly progressive programs to help folks who are suffering with substance use disorder. It's a disease. We don't want to spank these people. The U.S. Attorney doesn't want to put them in jail. He just doesn't want them on the street, and we don't want to enable that behavior because you end up with this. And then you have an 18 over there, which I shouldn't know what 18 means. But I do now. I know that means the cartel owns this area, and I'm told that it's another gang.
If you got hit, even if you were not driving, you need to try this.
Because
we're learning new details about the federal drug trafficking operation here at MacArthur Park this week. And today we continue our attempts to press city leaders for answers about what they're doing to make this park safe for families. NBC4's Alex Rozier joins us live from LA City Hall with what we've learned here today. Alex.
Yeah, Michael, we are at City Hall today because we are trying to speak with city leaders on camera about this problem-plagued park because so many community members tell us they are desperate for help. Problems continue at MacArthur Park, and Victor Garcia is fed up.
It's out of control. Everything is out of control right now.
Victor lives a block away.
I see crimes. I see drugs on the street. I see alcohol on the street.
This week, federal agents targeted drug dealers who they say sell illegal drugs at MacArthur Park. They arrested at least 18 people and seized 40 pounds of fentanyl. The feds were assisted by LAPD.
The amount of fentanyl that was seized, the latest on that is 19 kilograms of powdered fentanyl. That's enough to kill 190,000 people.
U.S. Attorney Bill Asaley said investigators observed some businesses at the park stash illegal drugs in their storefronts. That's why Asaley said the feds also searched several.
That bitch can kill, if he said 193,000 times that times 20. That bitch can actually kill over 20 million people, nigga. Cause all you gotta do with fentanyl is touch it, nigga. Touch that raw fentanyl, you can die right there, nigga. You ain't even gotta use it. So think about the next motherfucker walking up and touching that shit and dying, nigga. You can throw that shit on the motherfucker and rake it back in the bag, nigga. Killing motherfucker with fentanyl, nigga. But that hoe can kill niggas with just touching you. So the numbers amount. He talking about it can kill, that's just by using the shit. He ain't talking about just by touching the shit, nigga. Inhaling too much of the shit. You can inhale too much fentanyl and die, nigga. Bruh.
Also searched several businesses Wednesday. Did you find drugs at those businesses?
Yeah, I mean, there were some illegal narcotics located from those businesses. The locations that are searched simply means that they're potential evidence of the crime is present there. It doesn't mean that the business owner themselves is involved.
The feds say this operation targeted the park's drug dealers, but feet away, people using drugs weren't arrested.
We go after drug distribution, so people selling drugs. But when it comes to the addiction side and the user side, that's more of a state and local issue.
MacArthur Park's council member U.A.T.S.P Hernandez and L.A. Mayor Karen Bass have repeatedly declined our request to speak on camera about this issue. Mayor Bass's office said she's leading an effort to restore the park, and her spokesperson appeared to say it's working. They said more girls are enrolling in sports at the park, and they said this summer it'll host a World Cup watch party. Would you bring your family to MacArthur Park?
Today, no, but hopefully in the future, very soon, yes.
Councilmember U.A.T.S.P Hernandez did send us a statement saying that she's invested in long-term public health, safety, and sanitation in and around the park. She says that she's also blaming federal policies and pharmaceutical corporations for some of the problems that exist there. But people in the neighborhood just really want it cleaned up once and for all. If the council member or Mayor Bass agree to an interview on this topic, we'll follow up. Reporting live, I'm Alex Rozier, NBC4.
Girl, you gonna want to hear this.
Yeah, boy. They finna hand out a whole bunch of life sentences with that shit right there, boy. These niggas, they downplaying that shit in the media right now. That's a downplay, and that shit is high. Just imagine they downplaying the high situation, bro. Nigga, that shit gonna get way more worse, bro. As soon as they catch all the motherfuckers that they trying to catch, bro. Them niggas finna do life sentences, bro. Alright, let's move on, man. Y'all see what's going on in old MacArthur Park. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I remember that little video with Wack. It was on the side of the road. IBM, Hoodlum, his homeboy. You know what I'm saying? Try to, I guess, check him about the situation. I don't know. But let's see what the hell Adam had to say about it when he said he called Wack and Wack just got overheated about the situation. I don't know, but Wack ain't came out in the damn media and said nothing about it.
So all points back to IBM Hoodlum, and he's been making content on this for pretty much the last year. So we're gonna get into that, but first,
I'm viewing this from Jess Clips channel. You know what I'm saying? Y'all wanna go check his video out, but I'm viewing it from his channel. Just a little clip he had put together. I ain't wanna have to go search for it.
My main thing about it is like when I hit you up to ask you what the narrative is,
curse you out.
Just like why you get super turned up and mad at me about it when like all you have to do is kind of like just tell me like a couple details so I can like talk about it on the podcast.
I'm out of here, man.
I mean, listen, if he said like, yeah, I was making a video to send to my girl, I would have been like, oh, all right, I would have came on here and confidently said that.
Did he outright deny it, flat out?
I mean, he kept saying it was fake, and this is the thing that really
everybody using that now faking his age.
No.
Hey, how y'all know they?
Hold on. This is the thing though that makes it kind of crazier is that as soon as I bring it up, he goes to, I'm like, well, people are saying there's this video of you with your dick out in the train. Well, his response right away is like, yeah, well, there's a lot of people who say you're a
yeah.
Oh, 0 to 100.
No, bro.
Well, yeah, I know. And then I'm like, okay, but I'm not. And he's like, I believe you, but there are people who say that. And I'm kind of like looking at my phone, and I'm like, okay, but there's a video. Like, we're trying to figure out what's up with the video.
So
like,
you believe that you're not a media. I want you to believe, even though it's clear evidence.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm supposed to just blindly, but I don't even know what I'm supposed to believe.
So, yeah, I feel like responding to a simple question asked by someone who
Ready. Yeah, and they on the private call, so it wasn't no point of you getting extra heated, bro. Like on the real, like you ain't. I don't know, man. Guilty, man. I would been like, bro, Adam, you know for sure, man. You know damn well, ain't none of that shit going on with me, bro. Like that what make it so hard, like.
Niggas just out of nowhere start talking about her coochie stink. Dead homies, the nigga was like, there's times
they're both petty and they both put each other on blast and text as well as on Clubhouse on the regular whenever they get into an argument.
Whack hot, he going off about R&B. And the nigga just out of nowhere start talking about her coochie stink. Dead homies, the nigga was like, there's times where he would jack off to her because her coochie stink. Nigga, like, why would I just be making this shit up, bruh? Like, I'm not finna, this is what this came out this man's mouth. And then boom, when she mad at the nigga, she'll call loose and get to exposing him. All of that.
Chevy trucks are dependent.
Damn.
They don't need permission. They're exposing him. All of that. But the being touched on when he was a kid, he liked to hear the names of the people he was touched on while they having. All that shit came from R&B. Like I said, R&B is the weak link, nigga. I've been saying it for over a year. R&B talk too motherfucking much. That bitch give up everything. Mind you, when I found a drop on the house, I did not know who lived in the house. When I found the drop, what this dumb bitch do? She text Sharice.
Now look, I'm not on Clubhouse. I don't have an account or none of that, and I don't even know how to go about digging through all those different audio recordings that are posted to YouTube every day to maybe find this instance that IBM Hoodlum is talking about. But what I do know is this. He tried to open, then explain. This is a more
Maybe we wasn't paying it. Everybody seen the video that surfaced on Twitter, right? Let's break it down. I'm going to show you how that video got to Twitter. If you look right here on my Instagram, right? This video I put up July 31st of 2025. And if you look at this video, this is the same video that surfaced on Twitter. So one could be scratching his head like, well, maybe we wasn't paying attention. We wasn't paying attention. I couldn't put the explicit part of that on Instagram because it'll get your page flagged and you will get your Instagram taken. But that was in my possession, and that video was in my possession due to the transmission reaching out to me over a year ago. The transmission W.A.T.S.P 100 was dealing with me up back in April of last year and was exposing their relationship to me. Transmission actually sent me that video. Okay, as you can see, I uploaded that video on my Instagram page, and I've been trying to tell y'all W.A.T.S.P 100 deals with transmissions. Video hit Twitter, it's all because of IBM Hoodlum.
All right, so I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm scared to even show the censored video, but I will read off. I won't show it, but I'll read off what was like put over the video. It was a shrimp emoji, I believe, blown up to cover up the the nasty images that some of us are scarred from seeing, and it said a reliable LGBTQ source sent me footage of W.A.T.S.P 100 pulled over a roadside beating off to him on FaceTime. There's already previous allegations of W.A.T.S.P being a serial meat beater, and then like a shaking my head emoji as the period. So that's, if you go to IBM Hoodlum's Instagram, you will see that post. If you scroll to where you've seen him scroll to, it's really not even that much work to find it. So, go check that out on your own time on a separate tab. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, well, actually, my bad. Y'all didn't see him scroll, but you get the point. Go scroll down until you see that same photo that you seen of, the type of thing. And left his wife at the time for her.
Transmission, but from his girl, from R&B, you got this content crazy. So I was asking the chat, like, we hear you now, we keep hearing you saying, you got this content about W.A.T.S.P that you refuse to drop due to the nature of it. It's not internet suitable. Now, I've been saying this for a year. I've been told W.A.T.S.P that there's things that was sent to me, not only from the transmission, but from his girl, from R&B, that exposed everything about him. Like I said, I know personal things about this man. Luce know personal things about this man. We got photos, videos. We got so much in our back pocket that we refuse to release because the nature of it. There's just some things I won't touch. As a man, I personally won't do. Even though it disrespected my wife, and I should be like, hey, F him, I still did not want to put that type of stuff out there, even though there was a time where I wanted to because I was so upset with him disrespecting my wife.
All right, so you see right there is where their integrity comes back into play, as he describes, himself and Luce reached. And
in the past, a lot of the graphic stuff we have of W.A.T.S.P came from R&B, and a lot of it came from the transmission. But 85 to 90% of it came from his own girl. She's the one that exposed the diaper company going down the drain.
Hold on now. Let's pause real quick. You mentioned the diaper company, Invisible Diapers. Before recording this, I was catching up on the Friday No Jumper news that featured Doughboy, okay? And he was on there responding to criticism of the fumbled Nick Cannon on the No Jumper show thing, right? And when Ricky asked him a great question, he started saying some bullshit about, I didn't want to necessarily do hardball interviews or something like that. And I got to say this.
Sweat? Stinks. Add Lysol laundry sanitizer.
Interviewers or something like that. And I gotta say this, Doughboy, if you're watching, you gotta understand something. One of No Jumper's calling cards is that they're a place
exposed sex life to lose. She the one that
Anyways, back to that clip. I had to get that off when I heard the invisible diapers thing.
She's the one that exposed that he was broke. She's the one that exposed the divorce situation and him losing the house. She's the one that exposed sex life to lose. She the one that exposed who was living where and who was living in what house. The house with her grandma and her niece and the Tivoli apartments. See, a lot of people don't know R&B was still communicating with Sharice. They had a relationship that nobody knew about. And even though it looked like they were feuding, I got screenshots to back that up. I don't want to put them on the screen right now, but I eventually will. You know, I used to ask Sharice, like, nah, you know, she involved too. We need to go at her. But Sharice was like, no, like protecting her, like R&B, I don't want to do that to her.
So there you heard it right there. R&B via venting.
Good motherfucker, finesse ass retarded. That nigga said Honeycomb ain't got a knicker in his pocket. He walking through the hood with Jay Prince CEO like with a big t-shirt on with flat pockets. Dog, boy, for that ass dumb.
We all in the Fifth Ward. Yeah, man, finesse, big ass 5-inch t-shirt. Yeah, man, finesse. Pockets flat as they old bird. Ain't got a nickel in his pocket.
Damn.
Ain't got a car wash token. I water the crowd with. Ain't got nothing. Y'all in the hood and stuff. Yeah, man, big dyke booty can't come out like this, man. Yeah, man. I don't want to come over there no way. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about over there no way, nigga. This is my motherfucking spot, nigga. I feel good about being right here. You know, I get pride and take pride in it. I don't take pride in no motherfucking corner store with no 5-6 junkies, nigga. The ice cream sandwiches and shit. What you talking about, nigga? Yeah, Newport Long, bitch. I don't give a fuck about this shit. Black and mild, bitch.
Black and mild, bitch.
How can finesse get out of this bad contract?
Finesse alone, bro. Y'all ain't shit fucked up.
50 Cent posted. I got a great idea, Finesse, 2 times. I'm planning to get you a role in my upcoming show. So you can make so much money to buy yourself out of that deal. I've been watching Finesse closely, and dude gonna kill any character.
Especially those 3, Money, that's Prince, which is J. Prince Jr. and Atlantic Records. And what's low-key kind of fucked up about this is that especially those 3, Moneybag, J. Prince and Jazz Prince, they definitely took advantage of that man because he was incarcerated and he did not have enough discernment as well as access to legal representation to really help do his due diligence with looking over that contract, and then to also find out that y'all encouraged this man to not even seek out lawyers because y'all told him that bringing in legal representation is going to his money up. What, are you serious? Let me tell you something. If anybody is presenting you a legal contract but then tells you that you shouldn't get legal representation to sign this legal document because it's going to somehow your money. Like, what is up Forever Masters? Like, how did you put in that you basically are going to take this person's masters in perpetuity? Like, they will never be able to earn their fucking masters. Not only that, you put it in a contract that any music that they made prior to signing your contract, that somehow those masters belong to you too. How the fuck do you gain ownership of pre-existing masters? Like money from shows, money from like features, all that, like, that money does not touch that nigga's hands, like, at all. Like, it goes through 4 people before it hits him. On top of the fact that y'all won't even let him release music, which I do not understand this thing, and especially when it comes to Mob Ties and Jay Prince, that how, like, y'all love to claim that y'all want to make money off of, which is why y'all keep them in the contract, but then y'all don't let them make money. So how are y'all getting money if you're not even allowing your own artists to release music so that they can make money? Like, at this point, stop signing y'all lives away to Jay Prince. That is a grifter. He is a hip-hop grifter. His son is a grifter. And it's very evident that there's a lot more hip-hop artists that are becoming grifters, too. A lot of these motherfuckers are signing y'all up for a scam. And it's sad. It's sad because, like, this man, I know Finesse 2 Times really wants to have a legit rap career, but that motherfucker got scammed. And I hate to say it, he probably low-key got scammed out of a career. He got scammed out of a career because you're already in debt to motherfuckers that take most of your money. Before you do it, like, he can't do nothing without their approval. And for some of that shit, he has to pay them up front. Like, and it's, oh my God. And it's crazy because you would think that this is the type of shit that you would expect from, like, a major label. But no, it's not the major labels that are doing this crazy shit. It's these smaller independent labels. It's these labels where are ran by artists that are connected to major labels, which is another thing. I'm literally at the point that I do not support anybody signing to an artist label if they're not independent. If the label is not independent, and on top of that, if that label does literally tries to get you to go without legal representation, so really, you probably better off going to an independent major. Low key, bruh, let me tell you something. I ain't never seen no shit like that. And, like, he gonna need some lawyers to get him out of that shit.
Same shit I was
I really feel bad for him. Because that's a mess. It's a mess.
So now, Finesse has millions of followers.
Same shit I was saying, though. But anyway, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Y'all stay tuned, stay woke, stay out the way, bro. Until the next one.